Good afternoon, Ballou. I'm going to say that again. Good afternoon, Ballou. My name is Dyrell and I'm CEO and President of Crisis Management Unit. And let me say this before I get started. Principal Hayes has given me and the men and women the opportunity to come in to say some profound words based on the reality in which you live. And we went to Dunbar High School 2 weeks ago. We left Anacostia High School. And I'm gonna start it off this way, and I'm gonna tell you why. If we don't respect, what do we expect? I'm gonna say that again. If we don't respect, then what do we expect? And the same respect that you are demanding from us, I am asking you to give us the same respect that I know that you want. Have you considered that in the word listen, you have the same letters sounding that makes up the word sounding? And let me say that again, Ballou. In the word listen, you have the same letters that make up the word sounding. And I'm gonna ask the reason why. You and I cannot listen unless we remain sounding. Why? Because we cannot hold two thoughts in our minds at the same time. Now, as the CEO of Crisis Management Unit, the reason that we ask your principal to allow us to come in, because there's a crisis amongst our young people and students in terms of the killing that's going on in Washington, D.C. There's a crisis. Ain't no doubt about that. And unfortunately for you as a student, you are exposed to more gun violence and killing than all 50 states combined. I'm gonna say that again. I'm gonna tell you why we are here. You are exposed. DC is not a state. You as a student is exposed to more killing and gun violence than all 50 states combined. And there are 4 to 10 students that's truant from coming to school. That's why we're here. We here, particularly myself and the brothers and sisters that's here, because I'm one of the brothers in Washington, D.C. that goes throughout all of these neighborhoods before you come to school and when you leave the school. I'm on Malcolm X and Martin Luther King at night, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, dealing with that community that you can have a decent and safe place to live. Now let me say this. The psychologist teaches us that when a person is ignored, I'm gonna say that again. When a person is ignored, the same chemical reaction with a person being ignored is simultaneously equal to a person being abused or punched. And this is why normally I have to go to see Sosa, because I teach the high intensity that they don't send the guys back to jail, and everybody that come home, they give them to me, that I can help them reacclimate themselves back to society. Now, I don't have a whole lot of time, but let me tell you this. I had 35 to life with no parole. Let me tell you why I'm here. I had 35 years to life with no parole. I did 23 years in the Federal Bureau of Prisons. I was in 12 penitentiaries and I ran every one of them. Out of the 23 years that I did in prison, I did 15 years in solitary confinement. I did 15 years in a cell that's 6 by 8. And I'm going to tell you why I'm here when I can get more of your attention. What's going on in our city is a crisis, young people. And for me, I do all that I can to make sure that you have the opportunity to live. Okay? And I believe personally that your life is more valuable than mine. And the reason that I believe that your life is more valuable than mine, because you are our future. I heard a wise man say, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, that you are the best generation that was ever produced since we've been in America. I'm going to say that again. And I know that to be a fact. See? Let me say that again. I know that to be a fact. So even though I did that 23 years in Federal Bureau of Prisons, I have 5 college degrees. Let me say that again. I have 5 college degrees. And it's no way, Ballou, that I had to go spend the best years of my life in a Federal Bureau of Prisons to get educated. Let me say that again. I look back on those 23 years that I was away from you with the possibility of never coming home again. So that place had my body, but that place never had my mind. Is everybody all right? Okay. Ballou, school is a house of correction. Let me say that again. School, this is a house of correction. What do you mean, Brother Muhammad? Frederick Douglass said 169 years ago, it is easy to build strong children than to fix a broken man. Why did he say that? It's easy to build strong children than to fix a broken man. See? Which you see on your way coming to school and on your way going home. You see men and women that has been broken. And do you know that your teacher saved lives 25 times more than the rate of a doctor? Let me say that again. Your teacher saved lives 20 times or 25 times more than the rate of a doctor, because a doctor can only operate on one patient at a time. But your teacher has to shape, form, and fashion your mind and prepare you to deal with a reality that you see grown people is struggling to deal with every day. And this is why, if nothing else, you give yourself the opportunity to allow yourself to be educated. And this is what the problem is, not only in Washington, D.C. nationally. I'm tied into former President Barack Obama through R.A. Duncan in Chicago. Let me slow this down because I need your attention. I'm tied into our former president, Barack Obama, through the former Secretary of Education, Ori Duncan. I've been up Chicago, on the south side of Chicago with Lord Dirt. Let me say that again. In the GDs and the Vice Lords and the Latin Kings, to help them understand the consequences of the decisions that they make. Right? And the beautiful thing about what I'm going to say is this, Ballou. All that you hear in terms of music, we have to understand that it's just entertainment. I'm going to say that again. We have to understand that what we hear in terms of music is just entertainment. So I didn't want to, and I don't spend a whole lot of time talking to you young people that's students, because I know, and this is why I'm afforded the opportunity to come in all of these high schools, because I'm out in the street at night making sure that you wake up the next day, that you can make it to school. The thing for me is to get us to realize that association breeds assimilation. And this is why I gave you a brief history of me being incarcerated, because I had to deal with these young brothers out of Washington, D.C. and nationally when they got off the bus in those federal penitentiaries, when they finally realized and the hood episode was over, that they was going to spend the rest of their life in prison. And you would imagine how they try to check out, and how they try to check out was they was getting on medication. And this is what I tell all of these young brothers when I go in these neighborhoods. Congress Heights, I'll be down on 16th and Goodhole Road, 19th and Minnesota Avenue, 22nd and Minnesota Avenue. I'm up on Critter Street uptown. I crisscross the city day and night, risking my life to save yours. Let me say that again. I spend my life in risking my life that you can live. And I brought some heavyweights with me today. Stand up, man. This man, right, and his family since 1958, the legendary Ben Chili Bowls. See, he is the only one that I allow around me based on his credibility and his love for you. And this man is so significant to you as a student, because what he does and what his family does, they put their resources, their love behind you young people. Stand up, Dr. Asia. This is one of the women that support me in everything that I do when it comes to you as students. She has a legendary, successful beauty salon on Florida Avenue in Northwest. And what she do in terms of hairdos and haircuts for the students, she allow y'all to get y'all hair done and haircuts for free. Even though she got a successful business. Brother Dirksen, raise your hand, brother. That man back there with that good-looking suit on. That man is so significant because he's the student regional secretary in the Nation of Islam, representing the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You got some heavyweight people in here that's joining on with myself to make sure that all of y'all are successful. And let me say this before the legendary band Pump Blenders closes out, because what I like to do, the only reason that I'm bringing this entertainment in here with me is this. I feel bad that you can't go nowhere without somebody shooting at y'all. See? And that's why I mentioned the psychologist saying when a person is ignored, that's the same chemical reaction as the brain as being physically punched. because I know y'all hurt. I listen to you. And that's a problem that many of us adults don't do. I listen to you, right? You got something to say. You hurting. I know it. See? And that's the conversation that I have with the adults, because ain't nothing wrong with you. You the most gifted young people since we've been over here in America. Ain't no doubt about it. The thing that I know when it comes down to y'all so brilliant in your mind. You so brilliant in your intelligence. The only thing that I know that we need is guidance. So with that being said, let us hear from the legendary Pump Blenders. Thank you, Ballou.